Hello everyone, welcome back to Road Reg. On today's video, we are going to be discussing how to get the best driving position out of your car by 3 very simple steps, okay? Now the way we're going to do this is we're going to start in my M140i and I'm going to show you how I set up the seat in that car to get the best driving position, and then we're going to switch things up a little bit and we're going to bring in a guest car which has a completely different setup to my M140i, and I'm going to show you how I would set myself up in that car, and hopefully out of this video you will have some great tips that you can implement into your own car and in turn be more in control of your vehicle, have a better vision and just be more comfortable. So I think we should crack on with the video. Let's do this. Okay, so before we get cracking, there are already a lot of videos on YouTube on this subject matter, and there's some really good ones out there too. So after watching this, I definitely recommend going on YouTube and watching some different videos on this subject matter just to get a bit of a different flavour. But this is going to be about my personal preference to setting up my driving position through things that I have learned through advanced driving, my friends who are in the driving industry and the internet. So I just wanted to share that with you, make it fun and keep it simple, guys, because this doesn't need to be overcomplicated. So I'm hoping you guys learn something from this, and if you already know about this sort of stuff, then stick around and maybe you'll be able to tell me something that I didn't know already, because I love to learn stuff, guys. So let's crack on with the video and show you how I set up my seat for the optimum driving position. Let's do this. So, how do we get the optimum driving position? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust the height of the seat. Now, I am lucky enough with this BMW M140i to have the electric memory seat option. Now, this is an option that I could not live without. I've had it on my previous BMW, which, funny enough, was 23 years old. And when I was looking for my M140i, I had to make sure that it had this option selected because I am constantly adjusting my seat. Now the reason why I'm constantly adjusting is depending on what I'm wearing. So in the winter, if I'm wearing my big puffer jacket, it's going to push me a little forward. So I like to adjust that just by simply just taking the seat back a little bit. Now with the manual seats I find them a bit fussy. Like you have to pump it up and you have to release the pressure off the seat to change this, and I don't like that. I just don't like fiddling around with that. So yes, I know that electric seats adds a bit of weight, and also you can't get as low as you can with the manual seats, but for me, someone who's constantly adjusting, I'm glad I've got this option. So anyway, the height of the seat. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your nose is over the steering wheel and over the dash, and then you've got a nice view forward over the bonnet. Now the thing is, we are talking about road driving here, fast road, okay? On a racetrack, if you want to get squatted right down and you have good spatial awareness of your own car that you're racing, then yeah, you might want to go a little bit lower. But this is standard practice for road driving. Make sure your nose is above that steering wheel and dash, and that will give you a really, really good view out front. The second thing we want to do is set the distance of the chair and make sure we have got, like this, a nice little bend in our knees. With the brake pedal or clutch, this is an automatic, so we've only got 2 pedals, so we use the brake pedal for this example. So when you push that brake pedal all the way down, if you're hard braking, you've still got a bend in your knee. Okay, so now we're on the distance between myself and the steering wheel. The way you want to do this is stretch your arms, put them on the steering wheel, and get my wrists on the top of that steering wheel there. That's where we want them, okay? Because that allows us, in our tentative steering wheel position, to be able to have a nice bend in our arms, which means we are comfortable when steering, okay? Now, in terms of the tilt of the seat, you want to be relatively upright, but you don't want to be too far back where your head is tilted forward, because that can be bad for your back, especially if you're doing a long drive. That can give you back fatigue, you want to just get comfortable. I would say probably here is comfy for me. So as you can see, my wrists are sitting nicely on the steering wheel. I've got a nice bend in my arms, and my nose is above the steering wheel, above the dash. I've got a good vision at the front, and my head is sitting nice and comfortably on the headrest like that. And this is my optimum position. I feel comfortable. Right, so I've got the engine running just so I can demonstrate to you the benefits of my optimum driving position, okay? So we set up the steering, we set up the tilt, we've got the height right, and we've got the distance to the pedals. And look at this, look. This is what you want. There's no interruption there, okay? Now when I fully depress the brake pedal, I've got lots of power there, and I'm still maintaining a nice bend in my knees. And it's the same story with the steering wheel, okay? So stretch my arms, wrists on the top of the steering wheel, tense to, and look, I've got a nice bend. I am comfortable. And this is the best way to set up your driving position for performance driving, and to be honest with you, just driving in general. Oh hey, we're not in my M140i anymore. We have transferred to a 2002 Toyota RAV4, which is my partner's car. And the reason why is this is a completely different car to the M140i, with a completely different seating setup. I mean, look, it has a little twisty thing to adjust the height. It has one of these to adjust the backrest and, you know, the position of it. And then it has the classic slider. You know, this couldn't be any more different to the M140i. And I thought this would be a really good opportunity to demonstrate how I set up my driving position in a completely different car. So let's get straight to it. At the moment, I'm sitting really far back. The steering wheel is very low. I am going to turn the engine on for this actually, because the engine in this car is nice and quiet. So I'll just let the idle drop down a little bit. So, as you can see, my arms are properly stretched out there, and I'm not very comfortable. I'm having to lean forward because the seat's really far back. So, we're going to fix all of that. Right, let me turn the engine off again. Okay, so, just like we did with the M140i, we want to adjust the height of the seat. Now, at the moment, my nose is way above that steering wheel, and you're not going to be able to get that low in a Toyota RAV4 just because of the way it's set up. But what we can do is get as low as we possibly can. So we're just going to keep twisting. Oh, I'll tell you what, things were different back in the day, weren't they? Pop it forward a bit. Okay, so right, obviously I'm sitting way too far back. So what we'll do is we'll pull this forward, and then obviously if you want to, on this one we actually have a clutch, so I can push the clutch fully down, and at the moment I don't feel comfortable with that. I have got a slight kink in my leg, but not enough, so I'm going to pull the seat forward, clutch fully depressed. Yeah, that feels nice. How am I doing? Can I go any lower? No, I'm as low as we can go. In fact, I might pull it in just a smidgen more. Still got a, I don't know if you can see, but I've still got a really nice bend there. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm now going to adjust the distance between me and the steering wheel, just like we did in the M140i. As you can see, at the moment, my arm is way too far forward. Look where my wrists are. They're almost touching this. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the backrest up. How does that feel? I still feel very high, so pull it back a bit. Okay. Yeah, still too far forward, so I'm going to adjust the steering wheel now. Bring it up a bit, just so I've got nice space between my legs and the bottom of the steering wheel. Close that off. Okay, this is nice. That is where you want to be, right there. In fact, I could probably go back just a smidgen more. have a look. And pull this forward a little bit more. Yeah, I reckon. Backrest up a little bit. And there we go. This is perfect. Yep. Let's turn the engine on again just so I can show the steering wheel turning. And there we have it, guys. That is me setting up for my ultimate driving position in a Toyota RAV4. A little different perspective for you. Just in case you are wondering, yes, I did adjust my mirrors. Anytime you make any kind of adjustments in the seat in your car, you always want to adjust your mirrors to suit before you set off for your journey. And like I said at the start of the video, there's plenty more videos on this subject matter, so do feel free to check out those for a different perspective. But ultimately, it comes down to what you're comfortable with. You know, get in your car, follow the steps that I've given you, and just experiment a bit. Because ultimately, those tips are going to make you more comfortable in your car, which will in turn make you a better driver. So thank you again, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.